Hey Adam, did you have off today? I actually had off today, so I'm kind of bored, and it's been a rainy, cold day here today. So I've been sitting around, watched some of the inauguration, watching TV. So, but I did get some of these aluminum hubs, rims, hubs. I don't know. What do you guys call these? Oh, you're working. All right. From Steven. So I was going to build up with these aluminum wheels. I also was working on my Viper modified post race. I raced for the first time. We actually ran a modified race with the level 10. These are 2.4 ohm level 10 car. It was pretty crazy. There were cars dropping like flies in that race. A couple of them spun pinion gears. Two of them burned out their armatures because they had their cars too low. So my car survived. Although I did notice this pinion gear. I don't know if you guys would be able to see this, but I don't know where I got this gear. This might have been a Jag gear. I've since taken that off because it it barely survived the race. Looking at, so I do have a RPM tough orange gear. I thought this was a tough gear as well, but I don't know if you. I don't know if you guys can see, kind of. I don't know if that'll focus or not, but those teeth got. I can't get this stupid thing to focus. Those teeth got pretty chewed up in the middle there where it was contacting the crown gear. Yeah, I think it is a Jag gear, but it got pretty worn out, pretty close to being stripped. Now this car, which I gave my buddy to run, has a hardened RPM pinion gear, and this actually held up really well against an RPM hard, tough orange gear. So I've actually put that same gear on this modified now, so hopefully this should be pretty good. I also swapped out and went a little bit lower with the tires. I had this car a little too high, so it was a little tough to keep it on the track. I had it with like 428, 430-ish. I have it now down to 422, 424 range, which is what a lot of the guys were running. Some guys were going even lower. The lower you go, the more you risk burning out your armature, so you got to be careful. I mean, this car has a pretty good armature in it, so I think it'll be okay. This has a NSX turbo arm. It's like a $35 armature. Though that doesn't mean it won't burn up if you're not careful. Hey, Patrick. Yeah, this is definitely a RPM crown gear. I've never bought crown gears from Jag. I've only bought crown gears from RPM. So these are definitely RPM crown gears. Hey, Snuggy. Hey, Mark. Hi, Chris. So I also lowered the front. I had three 330s, I think, on the no 340s on the front. I lowered it down to 330. So this car sticks pretty darn good to my track. So we'll see how it goes if we run modified class again. I don't know if we will or not, but hey, Renato. Yeah, the front on this car I put down to 330 from a three. I lowered it from a 340 to a 330. But I mean, it's pretty darn low. It's touching the rails for sure. The magnets. I don't know if this is a, yeah. If you guys can be able to see that or not, but it's pretty low. I think it's slightly lower in the front than it is the back. To see how it runs, I might go up to 335 in the front. But it was a fun race. It was at Terry's place at Hardin Creek, and we had 15 guys, so it was a long day. The races were long. I did okay. I didn't do as well as I would have liked to. I think I finished in like eighth or ninth place out of 15 guys, and in most of the races, I would have liked to have been up in the sixth, seventh place position, which is where I was starting to creep up in the club. I don't know, but it was a tough little track. His track is a Scorpion, so it's a similar layout to mine. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, but on the Wiz track, which his is, when you come down this straightaway, there's a chicane here. Chicane, however the hell you say that. So instead of where mine just comes smooth around, this one kind of on each lane has a little divot and then goes around. Same thing with down there. So it's definitely a little trickier than the Viper track. So, but it was fun. I had a good time. We all had a good time. So. Hey, Matt. So we raced IROC race, which we used some dash Mondos, Mondos, or whatever the heck they are, with the little traction magnets. Those were actually Ralph's cars. Then we did box stock, and then we did ceramic super stock. I did well on certain lanes, and I suffered on the red lane. Really took me down in every race. I just couldn't get the red lane figured out in time, and really hurt me. I was averaging 10 laps less on the red lane than I was on all the other lanes. So, but is what it is. No, this is these are Vipers. This is not a Wizard car. Those are Viper. Very similar to your Tommy Mega G Plus from back in the day. Back in the 90s? When did the Mega G Plus come out? I think the 90s. But that's what the Viper chassis is built off of. Thought the wheels looked like they were a Jag. No, I don't have any wheels from which wheels? You mean these wheels? Snuggie? No, these are from RPM. These hubs. These come in different sizes. I have 252s on here now. I had 260s on here during the race. Which sizes? These are RPM stiff. These black tires are RPM firm tires. The stiffest tire that RPM sells. I use those on my higher downforce cars. So you can see when you buy tires from RPM, the tires only come in ones. Ow! Dang it, I just banged my knee. I just banged my knee on the corner of that 2x4 right there, and I actually just cut myself. I'm actually bleeding. I gotta see how bad. I might take a little break and get a band-aid if I start bleeding on the floor, but we'll see. Yeah, when you buy tires from RPM, like these are RPM purples, so like they're medium. They only come in one size, and it's the different size hubs that set the size of the tire. Like these, I believe, are. So these tires on a 250 hub, so like the Viper black hubs are at .250. This tire on a Viper for a .250 would be a 418. So 260 would be like a 428, which I think is what this is, 260. And that's actually a little, yeah, 430. So loose there. Yeah, so these are 260 hubs. And these are 260s as well. This is the rear end that I had in that car. So it was coming in about 428. But I took my primary modified down to the 252, and yesterday I actually ordered some 254s in case this is a little too low. This is pretty low. I could hear it dragging on my rails, but this comes in at like lower than 424. It's more like 422, almost 420. So it's pretty tight on 420. So I got to see how hot the car gets with this 252. I might take it up to, I think they're 254s or 256. I don't remember. I'd have to look back on RPM's site, but I pretty much got every size that they make. Oops. Wait a minute. Wrong chassis. This is my backup modified. This is my primary. I actually have these magnet shims in there. But this car runs good. This thing's fast. Too fast, actually. When it de-slots, it goes friggin' flying. I mean, it was kind of cool to see 4 cars, modified cars, going that fast around the track. It was pretty impressive, but I'm happy with racing the 6-ohm cars like the Spec Racer Fusion and the Ceramic Superstar like we usually do. Yep, definitely fun. I did okay, Rick. You know, usual, like kind of middle of the pack, a little bit below the middle of the pack, actually, of the 15 guys. I had some good heats. Certain like the blue and yellow lanes, I did really well on. The red and white lane, in particular, the red lane, I really struggled on. So if I ever get a chance to race there again, I'll try and do better on that red lane. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull off these hubs. I picked up 4 different sets of 2. I'm gonna put these 4-spoke ones on. I also got some of 3-spoke I kind of like these 3-spoke ones better, actually. I like how they look. They look more like race car-ish to me. So yeah, so this gear almost got stripped out on me. You can see the middle where it was contacting it, kind of sinking in spots. But I mean, it was okay. It survived the race. I don't think it would survive a second race. If you look at this under my magnifying light, you could really see the teeth are bent and notched from that modified. Let's go ahead and take these tires off. I did order some parts. I'm gonna be building a couple of custom Vipers that I'm gonna auction off. So if anybody wants a hot stock balanced armature Viper with an independent aluminum front end, upgraded magnets, custom aluminum wheels, a custom Lexan body, I'm going to be building a few and put them up on the auction block, see if anybody's interested. If not, I'll just keep them for myself. They'll be part of my collection. I haven't installed these aluminum wheels in a while, so see how this goes. Actually, I'm gonna put this end cap on here. Actually, I think I'm going to use the end that Steven sent me. Steven actually made this to fit in these presses, and I believe this is custom. This fits in there and stops right where the axle comes out, so it won't go past the opening. It's kind of meant to be a help kind of guide you to put these hubs on. I'm gonna put this on too. I just want to make sure that looks nice and straight there. Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to run this till it hits the stopper, which it just did. So we'll see how that looks. You can kind of see it stops flush with the opening. Off. Uh-oh, I think I lost my live feed for a second there. Hopefully you guys could still hear me. Yeah, using these attachments in here makes this pretty easy. And it lines up nice. You just push that baby in until it stops. And there you have it. Now let me see how this actually looks in a car. Gotta look at this under the light real quick. It looks pretty good. Just clear. These max traction magnets, man, they come close. Even the original Viper hubs, they're really close, but you can just see that it clears them. Let me get my tech block and see if this is actually legal. Hey, look at that. Perfect. Yeah, that fit really nice. And that was a breeze to install. Put the tires back on. These are medium compound stock Viper tires. Probably not going to leave these on. Well, I won't leave these on the car that I'm going to auction, but this rear end set is going to go in one of the cars I auction off. Yeah. That looks pretty nice. What do you guys think? Put a body on it, see how it looks. Yeah, they do look nice, I gotta tell you. Makes it look so much nicer than the plastic hubs. And they're pretty simple to install. So yeah, anybody's interested in getting some of these hubs, I think most of you guys know Steven, but I could put Steven's email in the description of this video once it posts. But yeah, I like those. Though again, this is not staying in this car. I raced this car, so this has RPM hubs and but yeah, I got a bunch of parts coming. I ordered parts from Viper. I got a bunch of parts when I was at the race from Terry, so I got a bunch of Viper pickup shoes. I got silver, copper, or brass. I don't know, whatever the heck it is. Not the gold ones, but I got them in low profile and standard. I got some Super 7 pickup shoes. I got a bunch of N bells for the Vipers from Terry. I got a big order coming from Viper. I got some bodies coming from J Jap. I got more stuff coming from RPM. I guess I'll have to do a look what the mailman brought once I get all that stuff. I should be getting them over the next few days. And that's that. This was the car I raced in box stock. It's basically a stock Super 7. It's got the non-CNC front, non-skinny tire, just the standard front end. Stock pickup shoes, unbalanced armature, level 6 magnets instead of level 10, and a lowered rear end. That's the only thing you can do to this car. You could change out the tires and hubs if you want to. And it has to be a hard body. This thing's taking a beating. You could see all the chips and stuff in it. But this car runs pretty good. I did okay in box stock, but some of those guys, we all pretty much use Super 7s in box stock, and I don't know, they get their cars to stick like glue and run pretty damn fast. I'm not sure what's going on with their Super 7s, but they seem to run a lot better than mine. Anyway, one of these days I'll figure it out. Have a good race. But it's all part of the fun. It's definitely an eye-opener when you race against like somebody who's been to nationals and has been racing for literally since the 70s and they never stopped. These guys, I think I'm a decent racer, but these guys are, in the Fusion Ceramic Superstock class. I think the guy who won, I think he did like 30 more laps than I did. So, that's crazy amount of how he never comes off, these guys. There's like 4 or 5 guys in my club that are like that, really good racers. If Patrick, if By the Beach is still on, he can attest to how good some of those guys are. I never put this thing on all messages. I hope I'm not missing some comments from people. I didn't have it on live chat. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was going to do today was build that rear end set. I figured I would go live for a little bit while I did it. I don't know if you guys want me to run any cars or if you've had enough. Do some running. All right, give me a second. I'm just putting away some of this stuff. move you guys over to the track. Is that good enough angle? Hopefully it's good. I'll do a few laps with my modified car that I just lowered down a little bit. We'll see how it runs. You definitely want to keep your tires clean on this class, because once these tires start to get dusty, the car's a lot less forgiving than other cars are with dirty tires. You guys probably can't even see that. I just realized it's probably not much fun to watch. Why don't we run something slower? I'm working on an IROC set of these TFX chassis, because I have this blue wheel one that I actually got from Adam, and I already had a red wheel. I ordered a yellow and white ones as well, and I ordered a set of bodies from Dash, actually. Their McLaren body. It's kind of a lighter weight body. So I'm going to make an IROC set of TFX cars. So that'll be fun. I'm kind of digging these cars. I like how they drift and they're not so fast. But they run pretty good. They're very smooth. Like, you see that? Literally just spun around and spun itself back, so it like did a 180. Definitely a lot easier on your eyes to see that car. I don't know if you guys have any requests or anything in particular you want to see run, or when I'm usually hanging out by myself, I like to run my Magna traction cars. as well as these TFX cars. Just kind of sit here and relax and chill. This car's doing pretty good. I did put level 7 magnets in the magnet traction with a mean green armature. Makes for a really good running combo. Give it just a little bit more downforce so you can push the car a little harder. And the mean green arm, 6 ohm arm, is pretty darn fast. This was one of my favorite. I had this car as a kid, actually. This Camaro. One of my favorites as a kid. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Chris. A lot of people do. Hey, dude. Is the sound still cutting out? I mean, I'm using the microphone built into my camera, so when when I'm standing here near the phone, you guys probably hear me okay. But when I walk all the way over by where the computer is on my workbench, you're not going to hear me as good. So that's probably why the sound's cutting out. I run my track at 18.5 volts for pretty much everything I run. The TFX cars might be a little more controllable with, you can drop the voltage down a little bit if you want. But I pretty much run everything at 18.5. So like this is a stock actual T-Jet chassis. These are just a little too slow for me. I don't know. I don't like to go that slow. But this is about as fast as this car is going to go. That's just a little too slow for my liking. Sounds like it needs some oil. Give her a little drop of oil. Yeah, the TFX are real smooth. I mean, right out of the box, these things run great. You don't have to do it. Give them a little oil, and you're good to go. Very smooth running car, and good handling too. Yeah, I prefer the TFX. I put this on the red wheels. I put this 67 Chevelle body, red 67 Chevelle to match the red wheels. But for a non-magnet car, the thing handles pretty good. They're pretty fast, actually. I think this red car is a little bit faster than this blue one. But I like how this blue one handles. Ah. Well, I have a green body on those tires. Hey, Jim. So it's funny you mentioned a Viper Gravity. I actually built one. It's hard to run this car at 18.5 volts. Probably should turn it down to like 15. But I built this brass weight car. I put this body on it. And it has brass hubs I got from Steven as well. So it's pretty much a weighted car. It has a little bit of, these are ceramic motor magnets. They make even more specific magnets, but I had a pair of these laying around, so. And this is a flex chassis. Yeah. The TFX cars, I run them just with the tires that come with them. They have kind of like a skinny O-ring on the front and a little bit wider tire. I have no idea what the sizes are, but I've never changed the tires on any of my TFX, but they all come with the same size tires. And this is the 15 tooth version, and it's the 15 point something ohm. I forget what ohm it is, but they run pretty good. I can try and run this gravity car. I'll see if I can keep this thing on the track. I don't feel like going down under my table and turning my voltage down, but I'm gonna run it at the 18.5 volts. We'll see how it does. What's a RO? You said Viper. Someone asked about it. What was it? Let me look here. Viper RO. What's a Viper RO? So Snug was that Snuggy that said that? Yeah. Oh no, Jim. So Jim, actually, the TFX cars, when you buy them, are actually made really for a routed track. They do sell a little bit higher tire specifically for home click together tracks. So it doesn't surprise me that you're saying that. These things are kind of low, and I assume you trim down the guide pin because the guide pins are pretty long. But yeah, they do make a little bit wider, or like a higher, not wider, but a higher tire, not as low a profile. So you might have better luck if you had a set of those tires rather than the ones that it comes with. I'm kind of surprised that they sell them not really geared for the home track. I read that I was on tape when I ordered these other two cars. I was reading that on their site, so just thought I'd pass that along. Woo! It's funny to run a Viper with that has no downforce. Oh yeah. Can't really push it much more than that or it's going to come off. See? There is no basic track size, Chris. I mean, it's what you want to set up. If you have a click together AFX or Auto World set, you could make whatever size track you want. You can keep adding. You can buy extra sections. Most of the track kits come with instructions to build different tracks, and this particular track is screwed down, and I can't change this. This is a 4x14 size track, and it's a 56-foot lap length. But oh, a restricted open car? No, I don't. I don't get that crazy. I have a few Neo cars with like level 35 Neo traction magnets. I have a 2 ohm Neo car with level 10 motor magnets. Although I have it a little bit higher, I have 275 hubs on that car just so that it used to pull my rails up before I glued my rails down, but no, I don't run anything above the modified class really, like level 10 motor and traction magnets with like a 2.4, 2.5 ohm armature. That's about as crazy as I get. Hey, John. Yeah, I don't run an 8th tooth pinion gear in any of my cars. I run a 7-tooth. I think the 8-tooth pinion is more for the like drag cars, or if you want to go fast off the line. But 722, 723 is a good combination for general, gives you plenty of top end. Still plenty quick off the line, but that's what I stick with mostly. 722, 723, somewhere in that range. This is my 2-ohm Neo car. It's a Viper. 722 gearing, I believe I have in this. I haven't run this car in quite a while because when it crashes, it goes flying. But I'll take it for a few laps. We'll see how it does. Pretty much a blur. I like running these Super 7s. Pretty partial to these. This is a good chassis. Very smooth running car. This happens to be a Rooster Racing version, but you can get them from Terry at Hardin Creek. You can get the base model, which is really set up really well for a home track. I think it's like $34 for the chassis, something like that. So not too bad. Good combination of speed and handling. Not super fast, but certainly not slow. It's almost as fast, or right around as fast as a Viper V-Spec, like a stock Viper. No, I don't lap my gears. I know some guys go to that extreme, but I don't. I mean, these cars are so fast. I can't, I don't know how much I'm gonna gain from lapping the gears on a car like these. car is similar to what I'm going to be building and auctioning off, although it'll have the aluminum wheels in front and rear. This car is a it's got a hot stock Viper balanced armature, the max traction magnets, independent front end, stiffer albino tires. This is similar to the car that I sent Scott at Scott's House of HO, except I put the aluminum wheels on the one I sent him. Very good running car. I think what I might do is once I get all the parts for those cars, maybe I'll do a live stream of, I'll actually build the car and then I'll auction it off. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I mean, Terry's track was great. I had a lot of fun on that. Very fast track. It's got some long straightaways. I mean, in general, the gear mesh on most of my cars, like this Fusion, is super smooth. If you were to feel this, I mean, can it be smoother? Yeah, maybe, but it's really, without doing anything to it, the gear mesh is pretty smooth. Even this Viper is pretty smooth. But I know guys like to get every little bit of edge that they can when they're racing. And I don't think having lapped gears is going to help keep me on the track any better. I bought some I like the Quicker Engineering gears because they're color coded. So this is a 22 tooth, is white. 23 is like a dark gray color. 21 is yellow, I think. But you gotta mate these with the right pinion gear, or to me they're not quite as smooth as, like this is a BSRT gear. I like these BSRT gears as well. It's a little bit bigger, like the diameter of the gear. And these black ones are just Viper gears. But these are all 22 tooth gears. And then I have my 23 tooth. Uh-oh. How did I fit all these in here? I do more 23 tooth than I do 22, but oh, okay, Mike, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't like how the eighth tooth pinion gear feels on a road course to me. I stick with seven tooth. My buddy Ralph gave me this. I don't know where he got it. Any of you guys ever use this slot car track cleaning solution? I don't know what. It's not a very big bottle. I don't know if you're supposed to just use a little. There's no directions. May cause temporary redness and discomfort if you get it in your eye. Slight irritation to respiratory. Low ingestion hazard in normal use. Normal use? Well, who would ingest this normally? That's funny. Skin, no irritation from short-term exposure. Well, it's got all the safety warnings on it, but no directions on how you're supposed to use it. Do you like... It's an interesting color, too. It's like a chalky-looking color. Yeah, the 8 will definitely give you more speed. Although I don't know how it affects top end speed, to be honest with you. But I guess it depends on the crown gear. Looks dangerous. I know, right? I don't know if I want to put this on my track. But I think I'll wait and let him use it on his track first, and he can tell me how it works, if it does any damage. I don't know if I've shown you guys. I think I've shown you guys my pit kit. So this is my box. It's a Harbor Freight. It's got a pretty nice little deep opening here, so I could fit all my tweezers, tools. I usually put. I'll take like this orange cloth and put that over, and then I could take my controller, and even with all that stuff in the top, I can still put my controller in here, and usually it fits pretty good. There you go. Closes up just fine. And then I have all of my this case is where I have most of my parts. So I got all different size front tires. These are all different size springs and pickup shoes, different rear ends, all my gears, pins, some extra hubs, tires. That's like my parts bin. And this is my tools bin. So I got my presses and pulls, pin vise, some Loctite, extra fuses, screwdrivers and stuff. Those are my tools for my Viper, end bell tool, and This case is pretty much empty, but I can put some more cars in here. That's my box stock car. And then I take the bottom case out, and then I can fit a good amount of, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I could fit actually 24 cars in here, in this bottom, stacking them up on top of each other. And then the bottom case I use for that I took out, I use for my IROC sets. This I just carry with me. Yeah, and that's worked out pretty well for me. I mean, I don't go crazy. Like, I get my cars ready for the race. I bring some different size rear end sets and stuff. But some guys, they're like decked out with soldering irons and big magnifying lights and a humongous case with gazillion parts. And I'm like, I'm only here for 3 races. I don't know. Seems a little overkill to me for a few races, but that little case has worked out well for me. This is my other project I'll be working on in my backyard. Going to be burying this conduit. That's the wire for the conduit. I got one of these weatherproof boxes with a GFI outlet. I'm going to be adding a outlet. So this is going to be on my dock. I have an outlet by the back wall of my house. And I normally run extension cords from that when I need it, but I need an outlet closer to my boat. My boat is a electric motor boat, so I always have to charge the batteries. So it'll be nice to have an outlet right by the boat rather than running a 30, 40-foot extension cord along the grass to charge it. What time is it? A little bit after 5. Probably going to sign off in a few minutes here and get some dinner going. Looks like something that would build up. Oh, you mean that cleaner solution? I don't know. The car cases you can get off of Amazon, but my buddy Ralph ordered like 100 of them. I think he said he got them from Amazon. I've never actually had to order any. Like, every car I bought from Steven had one of those cases, so I had like all my IROC cars, so I got 4 cases that way. My buddy Ralph gave me a bunch of them. So. But I believe he got them on, I think it was Amazon, either Amazon or eBay, but I'll find out for sure and I'll let you guys know. The only thing with these cases is they're not very big. So you can't put, you can't put a hard body. They're pretty much designed for a Lexan body type race car. But they do make bigger ones. This particular size, this car won't fit. But they do make some bigger sizes. I had one that was bigger than this that would actually fit this car. So I would imagine you can get them in different sizes. These just happen to fit perfectly for the Lexan body. So just make sure you get the size you need. When I used to race RCs. C's. I'm like, wait, you racing on the ocean there, Snuggie? Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, killing some time. Appreciate it. And I'll chat with you guys again soon. Hope everybody has a great week. I was off today, so it was nice. I had a 3 day weekend. Back to work tomorrow. Then I'm off Friday. I'm actually going on a cruise with my wife. We're going to the Bahamas, leaving out of Fort Lauderdale. So Friday night to Monday thing. So looking forward to that. Getting to relax and eat a lot of food. Try not to gain too much weight. So, but yeah, I'll be on this week with the usual crew. I'm assuming Adam's going to be on Wednesday and Kenton on Thursday. I don't know if Rich is doing his show anymore or not. I don't think he was on last Friday. Um, and then Scott on Sat. Although I'll be on my cruise Friday and this weekend, so I probably will not be online much this weekend. So, oh, what'd you guys think of the game? Did you guys watch the NFL games this weekend? I was so bummed that Detroit lost, but man, I gotta give Washington credit, man. They came to play. They played pretty darn good. I think they're going to be good games, both games. That was a tough loss for Baltimore last night. That guy should have caught that 2 point conversion and sent it to overtime. But I think everybody wanted to see the Bills and Kansas City anyway. So, Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs. Yeah, they're trying for the three-peat. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too happy. I'm going to be on this cruise this weekend when the both NFC and AFC champ. My wife's the one who booked this cruise, but and it was a kind of a birthday gift to me. So surprise. So what am I going to do? Hopefully, I can catch some of the action. Hopefully, they have it on TV on the ship or something. I don't know. We'll see. But all right, guys, have a great evening, and we'll talk with everybody soon. Take care.